How are you feeling after 2 days of that?
2 days of intensive festivaling. Well, this is my first festival of curating and organising and directing and reading at and chairing at. And I've been here since 10 a.m. where I did the poetry and yoga with Seren Cardiff, which was amazing. I was literally doing the lotus on a cloud for the rest of the day. Then I did poetry and mindfulness, meditation, wrote my first poem in about 2 years, cried while reading it aloud. And then I've just basically ploughed my way through all the events as an audience member, which have been incredible. We've had the poetry and mindfulness panel with Seren Cardiff, with Sasha Akhtar, with Dom Burry, with Vanessa Lampert and with Kath Drake. We've now currently got the poetry and running. We've got like several marathon runners in there who also write poetry while running marathons, I understand, with Paul Deaton, Kim Moore, Andre Mongeau, and of course Ben Wilkinson, who's had a collection out this year. Next we've got the first Thursday showcase with Amy Wack, who, as everybody knows, was the poetry editor for 30 years. But not only was she a poetry editor, she ran an open mic night, which most poetry editors of big press do not do. Most of them are not interested in people in their nascent part of their careers. And she created this, and she religiously did it every month for 15 years. She also created this wonderful festival in 2017, I believe. And it's been going on every year, even through lockdown. So the big thing for me is to really carry on Amy Wack's legacy. She was my publisher. She made my career, basically. And so the fact I now have the privilege, 10 years later, of being the poetry editor of Seren alongside the incredible Zoe Brigley, who's a Blood Axe poet and workshop leader and poetry editor of Poetry Wales, is an absolute dream come true. And I just hope that festivals like this and my job as poetry editor, I can champion the careers of existing poets, but more importantly, new poets, because that's where the real excitement starts.
Great. I also really enjoyed your own reading at the Roland Matthias, I guess, celebration reading last night. And my friend Gordon Anderson sort of, raves about your reading, and I think it was my second time it took watching you read, and you really lit up the room.
Oh, bless you, that's so sweet of you. I must admit, that was my first panel discussion, and I was amongst three very, what can I say, intellectual heavyweights. So I was utterly intimidated. I had tried to pass off that task to many people who refused to do it, and they refused to allow me not to do it. So I just hope I sort of kept my own and was my own person, but thank you for your very, very kind words, Taz.
And of course you're reading tomorrow again.
I'm reading again tomorrow. I have asked Amy Wack if she can present that event, because I'm presenting them all tomorrow, just so I don't have to introduce myself again. Like I say, it's a bit of a career low when you have to introduce yourself.
You did that very well.
Thank you. So yes, it's been an incredible adventure, this festival. It's the first time it's been thematic, so it's been on the subject of wellness. And the incredible thing that I realised, and even I mentioned this in my interview for the job as poetry editor, was all these poets are involved in wellness in some degree, even if it's as yourself, bringing poetry to the masses via your YouTube channel, even if they are creative writing teachers, but a lot of them are involved in meditation, mindfulness. Vanessa Lampert, she's an acupuncturist. A lot of them are sports people, runners, and so it's just incredible. Some of them deal with grief, so we've got a poetry and grief panel discussion tomorrow, which I'm dreading because I feel it's probably going to be the most personal and raw discussion probably of the weekend, with Claire Williamson, Ros Houdis, the very famous Dutch poet Kay Michel, and the wonderful Carrietta. So I am semi-dreading and somewhat elated by that event tomorrow.
Great, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Taz.